you know, you can get tests done to see what's going on in your body. And that's something that if you're really wanting to make change, that Adrienne would be able to help you with, recommend what tests to do and where to find out exactly where you're at.
Yeah, and if you think you can, or if you think you do have Candida, again, the symptoms are brain fog, cystic acne, recurring yeast infections, just overall feeling of weakness and tiredness, low sex drive, all of those things. If you feel like you're experiencing any of those symptoms, you can talk to me, or you can go into your local health food store, and they can also provide you with some supplements that you can take. But as I mentioned, if you're really experiencing these symptoms and you're ready to make a change, let me know, because it isn't easy, and it is commitment and dedicated hard work. But if you're ready to make a change, it's nice to have the help and somebody guide you and coach you through it, especially in that die-off process, because it's like...
And that's the thing, sometimes we can go and get the supplements and we can have all the intentions, but we've got these bad habits that overrule all of our good intentions, and so that's why it's so important to work with someone, because you actually get change.
Yeah,
it's like
true.
You're saving yourself so much time, energy, money, effort by actually going in and making the change.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, in this way, supplements kind of, if you just go into a health food store with the intention of buying supplements to help heal your Candida, it's the same thing as just taking medication. Like, it all starts from the inside. It's like an inside job. You got to start from the inside to work its way out. And that's where I can help you.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot. I think that's it. I could go on about this for days. There's so much information.
See if anyone has any questions.
Yeah, let's see if anybody has any questions.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to go right to the top. Who's rooster in the background?
Somebody made a comment about sugar and how hard it is to cut out sugar, and it is. Sugar is one of the most addicting substances that we can... It's one of the most addicting substances. It's almost as addicting as cocaine is. So yeah, like when you love sugar, it's definitely difficult. But when you again start kind of weaning yourself off, you start getting used to it. And then you'll notice that with time, it gets easier. And then also with time, you don't crave that sugar anymore, and you don't even want it. Like, I don't eat sugar anymore, and I had I treated myself the other day to something sweet, and I was like, oh, it was too much. I didn't even want it anymore.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm not really interested. Every now and then when I have fruit or whatever, I'm like, oh, that's nice, but it's not a craving.
Yeah,
like,
I don't even crave it anymore, which is amazing.
So someone's asked me what ratio of apple cider vinegar for the douche. I put a cup in about a litre. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. You can just tune in with your body and see what works for you. There's been times in my past where I've gone a little bit overboard. It didn't do anything bad to my yoni, but I noticed that I didn't actually need so much. Show your full body, please. Not today.
Show all your tattoos, please. Okay.
Essentially a keto diet without the dairy?
Yes. Keto diet without the dairy, that's a good way of looking at it too. Yeah.
What about sex? I think we kind of covered that. Can you eat eggs on the Candida diet?
Yes, eggs are very good on the Candida diet. They are a really good source of protein and really good for you because of the omega-3 fats. Super important to have on the Candida diet, because what happens is when you stop eating sugar, you need something for your blood sugar levels to stabilize, and that's where the fats help.
Okay, cool.
So things like eggs, but also avocados and nuts and seeds, all really good sources of fat and fiber as well, which also helps with the digestion. Also super important for your gut health.
Is there any relationship between mushrooms and Candida?
Yes, that is a great question. Mushrooms are a fungus. So when you're on the Candida diet, or if you have, or if you're prone to recurring yeast infections, you don't want to eat mushrooms. Also, peanuts are really bad as well because they contain a lot of fungus because they're grown under the earth and they're prone to mold. So you want to also be careful of, if you're like me with a peanut butter addiction or used to have a peanut butter addiction, that was tough. I love peanut butter, but I can't eat it.
So somebody wrote lesbian sexy, which I'm not sure of their intention, but it's good because it reminded me that there's actually not been any studies showing that lesbian lovemaking transmits a yeast infection to another yoni, which I find super fascinating, whereas when we're making love with the penis, it does.
Greens, sugar snap peas, etc. on the beans. Beans, yes. I would have actually no. Beans are no, because they're also considered a legume, I think, right?
Green beans?
Yeah, green beans, as well as sugar snap peas. I would also, just because it has sugar in it, I don't know. I would just avoid that because they technically tend to be on the sweeter side. The greens that you want to focus on are the dark leafy greens. Cabbage is really good for your gut. Broccoli, cauliflower, anything that's green. You actually want to avoid, this is bad to say because I also promote eating the rainbow is important, like whole foods is important. But when you're prone to yeast infections, when you're prone to Candida and you want to get rid of it, you want to eliminate anything with color other than green. Asparagus is amazing, dark leafy greens. Broccoli, cauliflower is not green, but it's, it's good for you. Garlic is really great for Candida. It's a natural antifungal as well. So get the garlic into you. What I used to love making like a coconut curry, like a rich coconut curry with lots of vegetables and chicken, or chicken was always kind of my go-to. So I would have like a green smoothie in the morning that was sweetened with stevia. Stevia is okay.
There we go. That's the answer to the next question.
Oh, good. Sugar substitutes. Yeah, stevia is really good. Yeah, stevia leaf, the extract, you can get it in the drops or the powder. Mm-hmm. Some people say honey is good for Candida, but I would just avoid honey because, again, it's sugar. Mm-hmm. So I would make a green smoothie in the morning full of greens and avocado, like spinach, cucumber, avocado, celery, ginger, and coconut milk, and sweetened with stevia. And maybe put some cinnamon or something in it, and maybe some flax seeds, chia seeds, stuff like that. Like, it's not the nicest, but you get used to it. You do. And eggs are good as well, with some greens. I used to have like a nice big salad for lunch that was filled with either chicken or nuts and seeds, avocados, to try to get those fats in as well, to even out, the blood sugar and keep you full for longer. And then I would have this like rich curry for dinner. So like, you can get creative with what you eat when you're on the Candida diet with the ingredients that you can use. So it's not as restrictive and awful as it sounds, because you can still make it a good experience when you're healing your gut. So again, like for me, I love to cook, and I can get really creative with cooking. So if you have any questions about like recipes and stuff when we're working together one-on-one, I can definitely help with that.
How about asparagus? Someone's asked.
Yes, asparagus, yes. And Brussels sprouts, yes.
Nice. Yum. So someone's just said that they weren't here for the sex part. Pretty much it is transmissible, so do effective partner treatment, and if you're having heterosexual sex and there's ejaculate inside you, cleaning it out as quickly as you can. Yeah. The smoothie, please, going to have the recipe. That you're going to be sharing stuff on your page, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, just head over to the Yoni Nutritionist Instagram page, and she's going to be sharing so much awesome stuff there.
Yeah. Anything green, like anything green that you can put in your smoothie. Green juice is amazing as long as it doesn't include any fruit. So
like avocados make smoothies so fun.
yeah, avocado's great.
You know, it's like kind of like a pudding consistency.
Yeah,
it's
and
so
then
nice.
then you can make a smoothie bowl out of it. So you make it a bit thicker, and then you can put like nuts and seeds and nice coconut like toppings on top. Like you can diversify the diet with what you use.
Totally. It's not that limited.
No, it's not. Like you can
And
get
it's not
creative.
forever.
It's not forever. It's for like what I usually say as a guideline is I did it for a month and it worked for me. But I still get the odd yeast infection. But if you're really suffering and it's really hardcore for you and your body, like 3 months is a really good I guess kind of time to work on it. Especially because if you don't want to go cold turkey, if you kind of want to gradually do it. And then 6 months if you really want to go hardcore. If you're like suffering and you're dedicated and you're ready for change, that's what I would say in terms of timelines.
Thank you. So, that's probably all we've
so
got
excited.
time for. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really
so good.
excited about it because yeah, like this, it's real. Like this stuff is real, and it really does impact the health of our yonis and
our sex life,
our sex
the way we
life,
feel about our yoni, the way we feel about making love. If we're not having that healthy relationship with our yoni and feeling embarrassed or whatever about the smell or whatever's going on down there, it can really affect our sex life. And
it's really
it's not that difficult to control and to heal and to it's just it takes a bit of time and commitment.
And the way you feel about yourself, because for me, like when I was going through my Candida and these recurring yeast infections, I was just like, what is wrong? What is wrong with my body? What is going on? And I was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable all the time. So this is in the grand scheme of life. I mean, yeah, the diet is not easy, but it's manageable and you can do it. You know, like I did it. Lots of other people have done it.
Yeah.
And it works. So like to be able to heal, to be able to have that ability to heal yourself is just such a blessing and such a luxury, because like for me, if you've been following me for a while, I have herpes. It's something that I live with now in my body, managing it luckily, but it's not something that I can get rid of. The Candida I can control and I can get rid of it, and I did, and it's like
amazing.
It's amazing now.
It's like when things get bad enough, we change it. You know.
But yeah, you have to be ready too. Like you have to be at that point where you're ready for change, and that's where it's good to have help, because it can be difficult. Totally. And somebody to hold you accountable, because like you said, it's like, yeah, you can do it on your own, but then your natural habits come in and you're like, oh, okay, whatever.
You can always have the best intentions.
Yeah.
There's a couple more questions, I guess, before we go. We've got time for a couple more. The skin problems, how did they change after your diet?
Yeah, actually, when I noticed that when I eliminated dairy, I stopped getting the cystic acne. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it was really, really crazy.
And someone else has asked, what do you eat to control BV?
The apple cider vinegar is really, really good. Apple cider vinegar is also a natural probiotic and is super good for your gut health. And what I do when I have a yeast infection is I mix about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in warm water, and I drink that first thing in the morning, and it's gross. Sometimes I make it too strong, but it's really, really good for your gut and good for your digestion and good for your yoni. And I'll be talking and posting about more information about this in my Instagram, and I'm going to be writing a blog about it, so I'll share more. But like oil of oregano is also really good as a natural antifungal.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it's good if you antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial. Those are the things that you want to look for if you are prone to yeast infections. So oil of oregano is one of them.
Cool. I think that's all the questions. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thanks,
We've been here chatting for a while.
Yeah, and we'll be sharing this live video on our Facebook page, and I think you're able to, if you weren't able to join us live, we'll be sharing it on our Facebook pages. And I think you have 24 hours to view it.
Yeah, and then we're putting all these up on our YouTube channels as well. Eventually.
Eventually, yeah. It's a lot of work, the videos. Okay, so if nobody else has any questions, I guess we'll just kind of wrap it up. Did you want to talk about next week?
Oh yeah, so next week we're going to be covering self-pleasure in honor of May being Masturbation May or Self-Pleasure May. So we're going to be going into some fun different aspects of self-pleasuring, self-pleasure practices, the importance of self-pleasure, what that actually means to different people, and yeah. And I would say some nutrition aspects of wanting to creating and increasing our libido, and incorporating that into our self-pleasure practice as well.
Yeah, because again, like food, it's also so important, and it can have an impact on our sexual health. So
yeah, awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody.
Much love to you all. Thank you for listening.
We'll see you next week.
Ciao.
Bye.